Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well today. For this project, we're going to use a 3.5mm crochet hook. We also need a pair of scissors, a couple of stitch markers, a yarn needle, and of course a superfine or fingering weight yarn of your choice. And if you'd like to see some pictures of this top when worn, please feel free to follow me on Instagram at whataboutYarn. So let's begin our back panel by working a slip stitch. And once you have a slip stitch, we're going to work a total of 81 chains. Once you have 81 chains, we're going to work a double crochet into the fourth chain from the hook and continue adding a double crochet for each of the chains across until you get to the end of the row. At the end of the row, we're going to work our last stitch into the very last chain, and we will chain 4 for row 2. Row 2, we will turn our work, and that chain 4 counts as 1 double crochet and 1 chain. So we will skip the next stitch and work a double crochet into the next stitch. And that will be then the pattern for the mesh. So chain 1, skip the next stitch, and work a double crochet into the next stitch. So please keep on repeating this pattern until you get to the end of the row. Again, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and double crochet into the next stitch. At the end of the row, we're just going to work our last double crochet into that top chain of the turning chains from the previous row. And that ends our pattern for row 2. Now come row 3. Row 3, we will chain 3, turn our work, and row 3 is pretty easy. We're just going to work a double crochet for each of the stitches across. So please pause the video and meet me back later when you're at the end of row 3. And that is the end of row 3. Now for row 4, we will chain 4. Turn our work, and we will just repeat what we did for row 2, the mesh. So we will skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next stitch. So you will keep on repeating that until you get to the end of the row. So I'm now finished with row 4. Now for the next row, we're just going to repeat what we did for row 3. We will be working double crochets for each of the stitches across, and you will keep on repeating that until you have a total of 22 rows for the panel. So here is my panel. I now have a total of 22 rows for the back panel, and for the next row we're just going to repeat the instructions or the procedure in row 2. So we will chain 4, Once you have chain 4, we will turn our work, and we're just going to repeat row 2 like what we did in the previous rows. So we will skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next stitch. So please repeat that for the remaining of the stitches, and meet me back at the end of the row so that I can show you how you can work the remaining 3 rows of mesh. Once you finished working all 4 rows of mesh, we will then chain 3 for the next row, and we will just repeat what we did in row 3. We will work a double crochet for each of the stitches across. Alright, for the next 2 rows, we will just again repeat row 2, the mesh row. So chain 4, turn your work and do the mesh, and repeat that for another 2 more rows. So after working 2 rows of mesh, we're just going to repeat again row 3, the double crochet row 4 more times, and the mesh row 1 more time. So that will be then our back panel, but if you feel like it's too short for you, you can just add more rows if you prefer.